Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Sargel18. Part 2 of the best of the evidence from the Wanaque Vortex. My alien contact, fire-breathing dragon, demons, and much, much more. First, I'd like to thank everyone that came to yesterday's show, part 1 of the best of the Wanaque Vortex. We really got a lot of hits. I was very happy. We got some thumbs up. We got some thumbs down. I'm cool with that. And the message is growing and moving and gaining its own legs and moving around the internet. And Sargel18 is being rediscovered again after 20-some years out there. So I really appreciate that. And this is going to be a good show. And this will be part 2. Part 3 will be tomorrow. Again, I'm only going to briefly go through each piece of evidence and how it came about. If you want to, just follow down my channel and you can find the Contact show, you can find the Fire Breathing Dragon show, and more. Demons and more. And you can get the full breadth of what happened that night. But not to make this too long, I will give you a brief explanation and then show you the evidence. These 10 different encounters that I had at the Vortex and the evidence I was able to get. And I hope you enjoy it. Oh, and I thank the GoFundMe contribution that was given last night. That is fantastic. God bless you. You're great. Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps to gain my goal of getting back to the Vortex, getting better equipment. And I just think that's awesome when somebody does that. So bless you and thank you. All right. Now, let's start out with contact. As you've known, the people that have been following me, on February 10th, 1998, I made contact with the aliens at the Wanaque Vortex. The doorway opened. They came through the orbs for the first time in masses, hundreds and hundreds of them. And they went about their business of going around the world. And I made contact with the Andorian aliens, who explained to me who they were, that they were the beings that are here from the multiverse, that are here to counter the dragons, and they are the aliens that went to the Sumerians and taught them how to write, taught them about science, and really was the seat of our current civilization. And these aliens are reptilian, they're silvery, they have scales, but they're nice as hell. And like in any place here on Earth, in third dimension, or in the multiverse, there is always yin and yang, positive and negative, and they are the positive to the dragons. They do not believe what the dragons are doing should be done here. They don't like Lucifer, and they are helping, and they have helped through our whole history of current humanity here on the planet, and I have contact with them at will. And this is the initial thing. This is how it started. This is what changed the world, folks, right here. This is the actual picture from the video I took, contact. As I stated, my VX1000 camcorder was behind me on a stand. It videoed everything that happened that night. This is the money shot. You see me standing there with Tommy Hawksblood's camera. You see off in the distance, you see the doorway behind the Andorian alien, and there's the Andorian to the right, and this was at 10:33:06 p.m. in Wanaque, New Jersey on February 10th. Here I just colorized it, brought it up. Now you can see me better. You can see the boxed off alien. And you can see the energy doorway. The doorway that everybody wants to find at the Vortex that comes down every single time that I go in there. And there's explanations for that. And I have explained it in a number of shows. You can go back upon that. But the one interesting thing about this picture, which really I noticed right away, picked up on right away, was that the third dimensional Andorian alien to the bottom right of the doorway, the light from the camera flash is reflecting off of it. But the doorway itself, which has structure, as you can see, 8-sided structure, the light diffuses off of that because that's energy. So there in this picture, you have great evidence of a solid alien being and the interdimensional doorway to the multiverse being energy, and how the light reacts to both objects in the same shot. This is great. I love it. Again, some people, because of the construct, can't make out what some people actually don't see it. So what I did was I just drew it. There's the actual shot on the left, and there's the Endorian with the horn on top, the Nagas, as the Sumerians stated, and the energy doorway behind it, and you can compare the two now, and you'll be able to see it a lot better. Just in case you can't. And here, there's the picture of contact. You can see the Nagas and the portals. And the Sumerians called the Endorians Nagas, and they made many, many statues to them. They were lizard-like creatures. There's a picture of one with a horn on top, just like the Endorian that I'm meeting at the Vortex. So actually, to prove, I'm proving a 6,000-year-old statue that who they are, what they say they are, and who they met with when they first came here and taught is true. And there it is. Now that was really cool. Here again is just the alien himself. I just singled him out and blacked everything out around him. That is the Nagas. That's the Endorian. You can see the horn on his head, his face, his neck goes back. He's reptilian. And here again, just so you can compare them, there he is. And there's that. And look closely at the energy doorway behind him. You can see the structure. The hole in the center, the holes going around, the 8-sided structure going to the multiverse. This is what I do when I go there. I bring this thing down, and I have nothing to do but just walk into it, because it is a giant solid fluid condenser mirror, and I'm the magic. I'm the bloodline. I walk in there, and this thing comes down, and all shit hits the fan. That's why I have all this evidence. Part of why I have all this evidence. You'll find out on Christmas night why I have all this evidence. Now, even though this isn't the Vortex, what made me famous in 1997, when I first did my first national television show on Strange Universe for UPN 9, was being able to shoot atypical UFOs at will. And here we have this orb ship. Triple orb ship, man. This thing was over Totowa, New Jersey. It's about 5 or 6 miles out from my camera. That little tree that you see at the tip there that I was using to set the camera as reference was about 100 feet away from me. And here's this picture here, and there it is. You can see, you could hardly see it in the sky. It just reflects all around it. But I can see them, and I can take their pictures. And here on the actual picture, and here on the left, I just colorized it differently so you could make it out better. There it is sitting over Totowa, New Jersey in 1997. This one, I shot it so well, even though the sun just happened to hit it just right, you can actually see the geometric surface. There's the actual picture, and I colorized them and boxed them off there. Look closely. You can see the actual surface of the ship. No means showing of how it's able to fly, but they are. And that's another. That was September 3rd, 1997. Back to the Vortex again. And of all the pictures of the demons and the meetings of me destroying them and fighting them and meeting them at the Vortex, this particular picture, the masses relate to. They love it. Me, I think it's mediocre. The people love it. So let's take a look at it. Here I was coming up to the Vortex. You could see the bridge. I was getting to the bridge part under the 287 bridge. And this thing came out, and it was pretty big. It came out and you could see its eyes, its ears, its nose, its mouth, and it's trying to scare me. But at this point, very little scares me, especially at the Vortex. If anything, I just go right into action at that point. And I took its picture, and there it is. And as I said, the masses love this demon picture. They can see it. They can relate. I'm not saying you love the demons, but you can relate to it. People relate to this picture tremendously. And here, of course, what I did was I cleaned it up. Again, you see the normal, the untouched picture on the left. And here I cleaned him up a little bit. Astral matter all around him. You can see his face and eyes and mouth and ears. And they're there, folks, and they do possess people, not only in the surrounding towns around the vortex, but many people that I took there became possessed, as hard as I tried to protect them, because they wouldn't listen. They're too much involved in the construct and believe what they're being told for 2,000 years, especially on television now for the last 70 or so years. And you think you got your shit together, you think you're aligned, and you walk in there and they rip you apart. And that's only because I'm not saying you're not aligned, you don't have your shit together, but you only have piece, one little piece of the truth. So that no matter how far you go with that alignment and protection, if you don't have the whole picture, which is what I've been telling people for the last 20 some years and showing them, you will get eaten. You will get possessed. Either you'll get possessed and die, or you'll get possessed and they will mess your life up. Bad, and they have. And the other ones like this demon here make people stop on that bridge, go to the edge for no reason, and jump off. And how many, many people have done this since that bridge has been up. And again, I will get to that in a future episode and what that bridge is all about and what it's made of. This picture is one of the ones that I really like because it shows how in your face these demonic beings are. And as I've told you many times, when they're not out possessing or creating havoc, they're deep in the woods where people aren't, in watershed properties, in state forests, wilderness. But here one night at the vortex, I took a picture, and at least these beings right here, I would have to be 70, 80 feet away from me where this fence is, from where I'm standing under the bridge. And if you know the area, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And they don't look like much in the actual picture, but when I blow them up and bring them up, that gets people nervous. And here's this picture right here. You can see way by the fence, a little bit to the left of the center, that's where these two beings are that I boxed off on the right. The rest is just breath. That's just me. I was smoking at the time. That's just breath. But way off in that clearing by that fence are where these two beings are. That cat looking like being on top, and you will recognize the red-faced one because I just showed him to you in part 1 of this 100 video celebration last night. Let's go to it. And here he is. Remember the elder, the ones from Easter Island that I showed you last night. The old ones that have been here as long as the earth has been here. Here he is, red-faced. You can see his fin on top, his ears. He's red-faced on the left, way over there. That's an orb in front of him. And on the right, as I showed you, that's what he looks like that way. This is the same being. And these things will get you. They get angry. Look how red his face is. He's angry right there, where he wasn't angry when I took his picture weeks earlier on the right. This one I love because I took this picture and people looked at it and no one saw it. I immediately saw it because I'm trained to. That's why I wear glasses all the time. My eyes are trained for night, trained to see what people don't see. And I instantly went to it. And before I showed people, I showed them. They're like, I don't see anything. And this is a third-dimensional alien multiverse creature at the vortex, blending into the weeds and watching us. Like that one I showed you yesterday that ate all the animals and insects at the vortex for 2 weeks that Telequad took in third dimension. Here, I got one like it in third dimension. And there it is. Now, you're looking back. There's the actual picture. You look back there, you don't really see anything. And here, I boxed him off on the right. He's blending right in. Now, before you say I don't know what you're talking about, I don't see it, Sargel. Let me bring him up. There you go. There's the creature right there. And there I blacked him out. You can clearly see his eyes, his face, his nose, his body. And he's just standing right there, blending in. And these beings blend in. And they hide in crevices and places that people would never expect things to be. And there's an old saying, especially amongst children. When you were young, if you thought something was under your bed or in your closet in your room, there was. And you picked up on it. And that's how these creatures hide. They hide in darkness and crevices and places where you wouldn't expect when they're in your home. But there it is at the vortex in third dimension, standing in the weeds, hiding. It didn't attack. It won't attack. Not as long as I'm there. But it was physical, and look how they blend in. Amazing. Now, the tree elemental. Here you see the actual picture, and you look to the second tree on the left and look down on the bottom, and there is a tree elemental at the base of the tree. And I boxed him off, and you can see his head and his little black body and his eyes and nose and mouth. And he was just watching me. Let me just see something for a second here, please. I think I brought him up a little better here in this picture. Yeah, there he is at the base of that tree. Look down there. You can see him. Again, make your monitors full screen. And as I told you before, I shot the picture, and he didn't disappear. I seen him for a split second go down. So this was by the bridge. So I went over to where the base of the tree is, and I moved the leads, and there was a hole. And I stuck my arm down. My arm went all the way up to my elbow. It was still going. And I grabbed a branch of a tree that was like 5 feet long. And I put that down there. And that kept going. So this thing went down into the earth in third dimension. And this is a tree elemental. Everything that you can imagine is at the vortex. And everything that you can't imagine is at the vortex. That's the cool part. All right. The night of the trial, the night where a monkey type creature from the multiverse, alien creature with long tendrils, who was arguing and fighting that contact with me would go no further, a demon, and the Adorian alien Niju, who's here with me right now and has been since the early 90s, even before contact, physical contact. And he's a doctor, and he protects me, and he helps me, was fighting in this trial that I am worthy of furthering contact. You can go back to the actual video show I did, and you can get the full breadth of that. The interesting part is hanging in midair in front of them was the scroll of Enoch, the laws, the rules, hanging in midair, and you see it quite clearly. I gather from my conversations with Niju afterwards, he won the trial and contact was further. And that's when a lot of the real great evidence started coming in meetings. But here you go. Here's the actual picture. Excuse me. You see the scroll hanging right dead center in midair. Niju's to the top right. Niju's about 7 or 8 feet tall, so he's pretty large. There's a demon right underneath him with a green face. And to the left is the monkey alien. Intelligent monkeys in the multiverse. Arguing. And he wasn't for contact, furthering contact. What I did was here, I just colorized it so you could see it better. Now you start to see it clearly. Especially the monkey with the long tendrils with his fist in the air. No human shall further contact. We shall further contact with no human. Yeah, right. Well, that went over like a fart in church. Here again. There I optimized it. Now you can see him even clearer. The scroll, clearly. Niju to the top right, clearly. The monkey creature. And right under him, the demon. I don't know why the demon was there. I guess they have a voice in this. And now here, I've cleaned it up. And bam, there you go. Now you see the actual untouched picture to the left. On the right, I blacked out around it. You can see the monkey creature with his fist in the air and the long tendrils coming out of his head, arguing. Next to him, the demon with the green face, Niju over top of him, and floating in midair, the scroll of Enoch. Right there. And this trial went in my favor. Another one of my best pictures is the night that I took a picture of a fire-breathing dragon. Yes, as I've shown you, dragons are real. They are not mythical. Only the powers that be want you to believe that they are. I have many pictures of them at the Vortex, as I've shown you, and I have more to show you. But this is the best of the best. So this is the night I'm under the bridge. I hear a flapping sound. I look up, and there is a dragon breathing fire coming down on me, coming at me to attack. You can see the fires coming out of his mouth like that coming out. His wings are back. You can clearly see his head, his body, and he's coming at me. And here's the actual picture. Right there. Those lights to the right, that's the bridge, 120 feet up. He was under by the abutment, took his shot at me. He's coming down on me. You can see the fire coming out. His wings are out. He's in energy form here, but the fire was still coming out. So that's strange. I haven't figured that one out yet. But of course, I will bring this one up better so you can see it. And there you go, the untouched picture on the left, and I just blacked out a bit around the right. Fire. You can see his head. You can see his wings, his legs down. He was coming at me. But thank God that I have protection by divine providence, the Endorians, and a number of other individuals of the multiverse. And, of course, Jesus Christ. Without Jesus protecting me, I would have been screwed back there. And to finalize this episode out, as I told you in a previous episode, the government sends a man out to me from Rhode Island. Nobody knew. Only Devron and I knew that, and Tommy Hawk's Blood knew that one day in the future in 2009, I would meet the Hooded One, a very evil incarnation here on the planet. And that I would have to battle him. And in 2009 he came, and I have battled him. And I won. But the battle is not over yet, I have a feeling. But what this man did was, after meeting with us and at my home in Totowa, New Jersey, he was sitting there, and I, with Tommy and other people at the table, and I said, well, basically, after all this, why are you here? And he said, I am here to give you warning that the Hooded One is waiting. And here is his picture. And he handed me a picture of him. And I went, whoa. And everybody just stopped. I said, so this is what you're telling me. This is why you come here. And he said, yes. And I said, okay. Tell him I'm waiting and ready. I'll be ready for him. And when he left, he got into one of those little Reliant K cars that the government gives out like candy to its employees. Had Rhode Island license plate and said U.S. government on top of it. With me, they don't hide. With me, they just right in my face. Because they figure people are not going to believe me because I have too much. And I am such against the box, the prison that they keep putting out to you of information of Roswell and Phoenix Lights and Area 51. Blah, blah, yada, 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 yada. That's all bullshit. You believe that, you should not be watching my shows. This is the truth. And here he is. There's the picture he handed me on the left of him. On the right, I optimized it and brought it up. This is the creature that I met in 2009. He was absolutely correct. The battle went on. We did not like each other. And as far as I know so far, I won. I'm still alive. And he isn't here. But he's close. Within miles. But we'll see. Again, 100 videos in 3 months of evidence. I kept my word. I told you each show will have fantastic evidence, and each show does. And tomorrow night, will be part 3, the last part of this 100 video celebration of Sargel18 Stranger Universe, and I'm going to hit you with it good, with more. From the NASA letter, the threat to me, to all kinds of other neat stuff. And I hope you're enjoying this, and I hope this is making an impact on you. Now, I did receive a letter yesterday of somebody really chewing me out about my evidence and how I come across with it, and that I shouldn't come across this way. I should be using all kinds of scientific terms and all that. And I wrote back and I said, gee, I said, that's the bullshit that you see on television. They come up with a theory. They put some PhD who's probably not even related to anything metaphysical. Maybe he's a PhD in literature. As long as he got a PhD in his name, people believe him. And you force feed this shit down people's throat. I said, you know as well as I that I'm not going to do that. What I am doing is I am telling you who I am. I am showing you who I am. I am showing you that the vortex is real and different from any other vortex you've ever seen. These beings are real. They are here. And it will culminate in 2034 with Lucifer's War. And we'll see what happens then. I'd like to thank all my GoFundMe contributors. You're funding groundbreaking original content. I thank you for that last night. That contribution that made me feel so good that people are listening and people think that this is worth something. What I've been doing all these years and bringing out to people. Remember the War of 34. God bless you. Peace out.